Hello, everybody. Have you ever had a bad day at work? Have you ever worked in retail? Have you ever had an angry customer? Let me tell you what an angry customer looks like. Or let me tell you, actually, well, let me expand on this angry customer for a moment. So, let me tell you about my day to day. Okay? I had to deal with one, and it was not fun. So, with my this new job, this new position that I'm in, I help people load stuff out to the cars. I also was helping out the pro desk because they're short on people. Anyways, this guy came in, wanted to get a bundle of wood, and I couldn't get it down because I'm not licensed on the forklift. So I explained to him it would take a little bit because, I'm not licensed. And he's like, well, just let him know I'm parked over there and I've got my trailer. I'm like, okay. So about half an hour goes by, he still wasn't getting his stuff, and I apologized again and again, but it didn't matter, he was upset, blah, blah, blah. So, long story short, he said he was waiting over an hour for all this stuff, when in actuality, I don't know, I timed it from the time he came to the desk and all that, but the point of it is, he was a very unpleasant person, and when things like that happen, there are times when I think, man, I want to get my aggression out. And I don't know quite how to do that because, one, you do it out on a customer. Well, first thing that's going to happen, you're going to be unemployed because you're going to be fired. And the second thing that would be a long-term effect from that, from getting fired, is you're going to go to jail because you're going to be arrested for assaulting somebody. And they might add fines on top to that assault. Fines, medical bills, so it's really not worth it. So what I've found to do is I like to come home and play either Red Dead Revolver or Anthem or Destiny 2, games like that. Yes, these games are a violent video game, but I'm not out there physically hurting somebody, so there's no long-term effect. Oh, also my son, he likes to blow things up in Minecraft, and he plays Minecraft pretty regularly, so he hasn't wanted to go out and hurt somebody. So that just goes to show you there's no long-term effect from wanting to blow things up on a game or punch somebody on a game or shoot somebody on a game. But punching somebody on a video game does help relieve aggression without any legal consequences. Getting out aggression with the video game has no long-term effect, like I just explained. There's no legal consequences because you're not actually hurting somebody. So there you go. So punching somebody on a video game helps relieve aggression without any legal consequences because there's a difference between virtual and real life situations. So the difference between virtual and real life situations is video game is more animated, so there's no actual humans on the game. It's just an all animated virtual reality kind of thing. They're not real. You can hurt them. You can do anything you want to them. There's blood on a video game, but the blood again to me isn't very realistic. And it's probably just because of the graphics that you get on the game, depending on what kind of system you have. But to me, I've never seen the blood be very realistic. And the effects in the video game are different than real life effects. And research has shown that there is no long-term effect on people who play violent video games. Research has also shown that when people play violent video games, it does not cause a long-term violent behavior. There are several risk factors involved in becoming violent, and not just from playing video games. Risk factors include socioeconomic status, such as abuse. As a child or as an adult, it would be playing violent video games 24/7, as well as a combination of other risk factors that have a solid argument on video games do cause violent behavior. So according to Maggie Cutler, author of Who Done It the Media, real life experiences shapes a kid's mind more than any type of media. So let's think of a real life experience that would help shape a kid's mind. Maybe he's out there doing something with his friends. That's gonna make me more shape his mind than something else. Richard P. Felsen did a longitudinal study that children with favorable attitudes towards violence may be more likely to engage in violence and also more likely to find violence entertaining to watch. So what Richard P. Felsen is trying to say there is kids may have seen something like abuse happen, or they've seen something towards that line happen, and they find it entertaining for whatever reason. Gabriano, a psychologist, states that media violence may be one factor in a child's life, but it's accumulation of these factors that really alter the way a person thinks and feels. So there's, like I said, there's several things that will come into those factors. So in conclusion, research has shown that violent video games do not cause long-term violent behavior. There's a difference between reality and virtual simulation. Virtual simulation has no legal consequences, so it's okay to play violent video games. Playing a game does not turn you into a serial killer, so get out there and release your aggression in a positive manner that won't get you into trouble. I want to thank you guys for listening. You guys have been great. One thing I would say is just get out there and play any kind of video game. Just it's going to get out your aggression, and if that doesn't work for you, there's other things you can do. You could go to a gym. I was just going to finish my thought here. So you can go to a gym and maybe hit a punching bag, or there's other ways to get out your aggression, but I would just suggest go out, get a video game, and take out your aggression.